Hey, church family, Pastor Kyle here. I'm excited because this coming Sunday night we have our first Sunday prayer meeting. It's going to be at 5 o'clock, June 2nd, in the main sanctuary where we gather together as the saints to pray. And so, as we prepare for that, something that I want to do is just do a quick devotional. I have a book that I read on a regular basis for devotions, and it's a Spurgeon devotional here, Daily Treasures. And so I'm going to read out of that today. It's all about the book of Psalms, and so I wanted to share with you today. Psalm 67, 1 through 4 says this. May God be gracious to us and bless us and make his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known on earth, your saving power among all nations. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. What an amazing God that we have. A mighty God, a great God, and a gracious and merciful God. And so along with that, I'm going to read just the devotional for today that goes along with this passage that Spurgeon wrote. This is what he says. This is a fit refrain to the benediction of the high priest in the name of the Lord. As recorded in Numbers 6:24 through 25, it began at the beginning with a cry for mercy. Forgiveness of sin is always the first link in the chain of mercies experienced by us. Mercy is a foundation attribute in our salvation. The best saints and the worst sinners may unite in this petition. It is addressed to the God of mercy by those who feel their need of mercy, and it implies the death of all legal hopes or claims of merit. Next, the church begs for a blessing. Bless us, a very comprehensive and far-reaching prayer. When we bless God, we do, but little, for our blessings are but words. And when God blesses, he enriches us indeed, for his blessings are gifts and deeds. But his blessing alone is not all his people crave. They desire a personal consciousness of his favor and pray for a smile from his face. These three petitions include all that we need here or hereafter. This verse may be regarded as the prayer of Israel, and spiritually of the Christian church. The largest charity is shown in this psalm. But it begins at home. The whole church, and each little company may rightly pray, bless us. It would, however, be very wrong to let our charity end where it begins, as some do. Our love must make long marches, and our prayer must have a wide sweep. We must embrace the whole world in our intercessions. As showers which fall upon the hills afterwards run down in streams into the valleys, so the blessings of the Most High come upon the world through the church. We are blessed for the sake of others as well as ourselves. God deals in way of mercy with his saints, and then they make that way known far and wide. The Lord's name is made famous on the earth. Ignorance of God is the great enemy of mankind, and the testimonies of the saints, experimental and grateful, overcome this deadly foe. God has a set way and method of dealing out mercy to men, and it is the duty and privilege of the revived church to make that way known everywhere. This all nations need, but many of them do not know it, desire it, or seek it. Our prayer and labor should be that the knowledge of salvation may become a universal as light of the sun. Despite the gloomy notions of some, we cling to the belief that the kingdom of Christ will embrace the whole habitable globe, and that all flesh shall see the salvation of God. For this glorious consummation we agonize in prayer. The forgiveness of God is the whole purpose in which we gather. It is our salvation that comes through Christ because of God's mercy. And this mercy that he gives us is something that we need to make known to all nations. And so we come together in corporate prayer for this reason. One of the things that we pray about is that our community and beyond would know the forgiveness and mercy of God. We pray for those close to us and those far away in other nations, that the nations would know, as Spurgeon said, they would know the forgiveness and mercy of God like the light of the sun which shines on them. We come together in prayer because our God is great, because our God is giving, because our God is merciful, and we pray that he would bless us continually. But it is our job as the church to go communicate the greatest blessing of all, which is salvation through Jesus Christ, the cross. And so we come together Sunday night to not only come before God in recognition of our sin, in recognition of the mercy that he has given us, but to intercede for the nations, that we would flow out of our hearts, out of our mouths, the forgiveness of God to all people, to live out the Great Commission. So join us Sunday night, June 2nd, 5 p.m., Ottawa Bible Church, to pray together as the saints, because we know the forgiveness of God. We know the blessings that have overflown onto our lives, in which we should then share with others. Have a blessed week, church family. Can't wait to gather this Sunday morning and Sunday night to worship our God, to pray, and to fellowship with one another. Have a blessed week.